Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Bill Kennedy, and I am a manager here in the membership department at the Hawaii Visitors and Convention Bureau. And today we are going to take some time to walk you through our Extranet system so you can learn how to take advantage of the tools that we have available to get the most value out of your membership. Before we actually dive into the nuts and bolts of Extranet and showing you how to use it, we wanted to take a few minutes to just tell you why Extranet is important and why you should want to go in and make sure that your data is up to date. So what is Extranet? Basically, it is our password-protected online member portal. Once you log in, you can update all of your company's information, whether it be staff contact information, information that appears in your listings. There's also informational resources that we'll go through. One of the things you'll be able to update is all of the information that appears in your print listings. On the consumer side, we have consumer vacation planners at the statewide level, and then also for each of the individual islands. And so you'll be able to update the information that appears in those planners. I know for a lot of you, the prime method of exposure to incoming visitors is your listing on our GoHawaii.com website. And so we're actually going to be spending a lot of time on the different bits of information that you can edit for your GoHawaii.com listing. Now, one of the newest benefits that you have for your membership is our Travel Trade Special Offers program. And now this is going to be available to members who are in an activities, accommodations, or transportation category. And so if you are in one of those categories, pay attention when we get to that section, because that is a brand new benefit and a brand new method of exposure to the travel trade market. Now, some of you, depending on your level of membership, are also going to appear on our meethawaii.com website. So where GoHawaii.com is the consumer information website for the state of Hawaii, meethawaii.com is the official meeting planner website for the state. And if you're unsure about your member level, when we get into actually updating your information, I'll show you a field that will let you know what your level of membership is. Now again, some of you who are at one of our convention levels of membership may also appear in a printed publication that is devoted to meeting planners. And so once we get into Extranet, I'll be showing you how to edit and customize the information for that listing in particular. Now, in addition to exposure to the consumer market, the travel trade market, perhaps meeting conventions and incentives, there are also tools within Extranet that help you get some member-to-member exposure. And so I'll be showing you the post board where you can post messages and also how you can update your information in our member directory. And in addition to all of the exposure aspects of going into Extranet, updating your information, we also want to make sure that you go in and you update your staff contact information. Basically, that is how you would make sure that we have the right contacts on file so that when we send out our communications, we can reach out and make sure that we're getting the information out to the right people at your company. And with that, we are going to dive into the live Extranet. And hopefully all of you online now have your Extranet logins and passwords ready. If you don't, the first thing you can do, basically the shortcut to Extranet is going to just be hvcb.org/update. And when you go to that, you're going to be forwarded to a longer URL. You're going to arrive on this page. If for whatever reason you don't have your password information, or if you need a reminder, you can always click this forgot password link, and the system will send you a new temporary password. And before we get into it, I just wanted to mention that as we go through this, if you have any questions, you're welcome to send them through the GoToWebinar, and James will see them and will either send you a quick answer or he'll pass them on to me, and then I can make sure that you get the information you're looking for. And then also at the end of the session, we will have an overall question and answer kind of wrap up as well. But yes, feel free to send your questions anytime. So logging into Extranet. Each individual staff contact at your company can have their own separate login and password to Extranet. It's based on their email address, and they will each have their own individual password. And so it's not necessary for you to just have one and then to pass that username and password around. So each staff person can have their own, and so you're welcome to add as many staff onto the system as you would like. Now, once you log in, I'm just going to bypass that and click over here, you will arrive on the Extranet homepage. And so the first thing you'll see on the homepage is this image carousel across the top. And it's a good idea to go ahead and click through these because it will have a variety of little tidbits of information for you. For example, could be points about how to maintain and update your information, little reminders about the types of updates you can do. And then also you will see, often we'll put in event calendar reminders. And so, for example, this is the reminder for today's training, the fall tourism update coming up in November. We recently sent out a save the date for our holiday mixer coming up in December, things of that sort. So just flip through the carousel and you might find some good bits of information there. Now, along the same vein and as gathering information, here in the partner bulletins area, this is where we'll often post copies of important emails. Just in case you may have missed it, you can come back in and see the communication. You'll see we also put up copies of the most recent Kahe Wale monthly membership newsletter and the most recent market insights report. So if you happen to not see those emails, you can always come in and see the most recent versions here in the partner bulletins area. Also, we'll make sure to put in the most recent version of the partnership opportunities document, and I'll show you another area of here where you can get access to that. And then there may also just be general tips and information that are of interest. Now, next to the partner bulletins here in the post board, this, as I mentioned, is a tool that members can use to get information out to the other business members. So as you can see, you can come to the post board, you can click the pencil to post a message, and because the post board is behind the login and password of Extranet, you can be sure that only other members will be able to see it. And so you can see that members are just posting information about their products. Others are just saying, hello, I'm a new member of the Bureau. You're welcome to post member discounts, maybe invitations to upcoming events, anything that would be of general interest to the membership. We can go ahead and have that posted here. And then after you're done with the homepage of Extranet, now we are going to get into the meat of actually updating your company information. And so we start with that by going here to Profile and then Accounts. And as we go through some of these updates, I'm going to be hopping over to an example record on GoHawaii.com so we can kind of see what pieces of information we're editing and how it affects your listings and such. And so here in Accounts, this is where we're going to have kind of high-level, top-level company information. So throughout the system, this pencil is always going to be Edit. The I is always just going to be to view the information that you have on file. And so in our case, we're going to go ahead and click on the Edit. And again, throughout the system, there will be a few fields that look like this that you cannot edit yourselves. If you do need to edit the information that is in one of those fields, you'll have to get in touch with us and we can take care of that for you. So for example, you cannot edit your company name directly yourself. You would contact us for that. But one of the other fields that you can edit is a separate version of your company name. Basically, when we list our member companies in digital formats, whether it be on our websites or on our online directories and such, for now, we generally do not include Hawaiian diacriticals like the Okina and the Kahe, because those characters do not always appear correctly in the different digital mediums. But when we put your companies in our printed vacation planners, we are now moving towards being able to include the Kahe and Okina in print. And so if you do have Hawaiian diacritical characters in your company name, you are welcome and encouraged to enter in the version of your company with the diacriticals in this field account name for print listings. In a similar vein, for your website, there are two different versions of your website that you're going to want to enter. The first is just a field labeled website. And for this, I'm going to show you, again, a live example of what I'm talking about. So this is our test record on the GoHawaii.com website. And you can see that all the listings will have this website link off to our members' websites. And you can see that it doesn't show the actual website address here. And so for the field labeled website, you are welcome to put in your Google Analytics tracking codes, things of that sort. And you don't have to worry about consumers actually seeing those codes as you enter them. But when we do include your website address in our print listings, we don't want to have that long URL with the additional codes on the end. And so in the field website address for print listings, that's where you're going to put in the clean version of your website address that you would like us to use for your listings in print. And then also you will be updating your email address. And again, the email address you can see is included on the GoHawaii.com website. And so you want to make sure that the email address that you put in, is allowed to be displayed to the public. You don't want to use any particular contact person's email address if you do not want that email address to be displayed. And then going down in a similar vein for the phone numbers are also displayed here on the GoHawaii.com site. And so you want to make sure that you put in only public-facing phone numbers in this area. And then a little bit farther down in the account information is where you'll enter in your addresses. And the key point here is this field, show map on GoHawaii.com listing. Because on your listing on GoHawaii, if a consumer scrolls to the bottom where they're looking at your longer text description, there's also this location tab. And the location tab will create a Google map based on the physical address that has been added onto your account. And we know that certain companies, maybe you're online or you just don't have a storefront, you might not have a location that you want to be displayed to consumers that would come knocking on your door. And so that is the purpose of this field, show map on GoHawaii.com. The map is going to be based on your physical address, and the physical address is a required field, so you cannot leave it blank. But if you do not want the value in the physical address to be displayed, and if you do not want the Google map to be on your listing on GoHawaii, then you would just set show map on GoHawaii listing too. And if by chance you have an address that is not directly mappable based on the address that you type in, then if you contact us here in membership, we can actually adjust the map by just moving a pin and basing it on your GPS coordinates instead. But for you folks, you'll just be able to put in the address there. You're also going to enter in your billing address, if different from your physical address, where we should send invoices for membership dues and advertising opportunities and such, and then your mailing address if we ever need to send you something. A little bit further down is just some general information about your company. The only ones here that are very important are going to be for our accommodations members. That is because for all accommodations statewide, we do require a TAT, tax license number, and so for all accommodations, you'll be expected to fill that in. We know for condominium properties and such where they don't have a single TAT number, but they have a list of numbers for all of their owners, you can enter in a website address that goes to an online file that shows all of your TAT numbers. And for any of you who happen to be vacation rentals, bed and breakfasts, short-term accommodations, we also have a field where we collect the permit numbers for those as well. And then the TAT numbers and the accommodations permit numbers are displayed on your listing on GoHawaii.com and also in the printed planners. Okay, and then next is where you would enter your social media links. So if you see back to the GoHawaii.com listing, after your short text, you can see that your listing can display your social media links. And so you would enter those social media addresses. Again, we're still in profile and accounts. and so you'll enter in the addresses here. The key point for this field, as it will try to remind you here, is that you need to enter the full URL of your social media presences. So it's not enough to just put in your username or your @name. You have to put in the actual URL that will take people to your profile, and then those websites will cause the icons to appear, and then they will link off to your profile. And then finally, in profile accounts, we have sales and marketing initiatives. Basically, this is an area where you can come in and you can indicate to us if you have any particular target markets in terms of geography or demographics that you particularly go after. That's helpful for us in a couple of ways. For one, we can see what our members are interested in, and so if we have a marketing opportunity arise that matches that type of interest, we might know who to reach out to. Same with the lifestyle segments. You can tell us who you're interested in marketing to. And then also, if you are interested in any particular types of marketing opportunities that we might have available throughout the year. So things like marketing in our planners, marketing in our maps, participating in FAMs, things of that sort. So you can indicate to us if you would like to participate in any of those. And then as those opportunities arise, we do a quick search to see who had indicated they're interested in that type of opportunity, and we reach out to them first. Okay, and so all of that was in profile and accounts. And so as you go through the system, you're gonna make your changes, and you're gonna click save. In my case, I'm gonna end up clicking cancel, but just a quick note that depending on the item that you're updating, some of the changes require an approval process. And so they will not go live on the website immediately. So the fastest changes, things made to website addresses, phone numbers, and such, they might go live on Go Hawaii within an hour or two. Later on, when we get into updating your photos or text descriptions, that type of information does go through an approval, and so that might take, we generally say by morning the next day, you should see the information online. But for now, I'm just gonna click cancel on that. And again, that was all in profile and accounts. Next, we're gonna go to profile and contacts. And this is where you are going to be able to add, edit, remove, update all of the staff contacts on your company. We send out a lot of email messages of different types. Some may be geared towards marketing folks. Some might go to more people on the sales or PR side, or sometimes we're going to reach out to general managers. And so it does behoove you to add basically anybody that you think would benefit from communications from HVCB onto your account. There's no limit to the number of contacts you can add, and so you're welcome to put them all in there. And I will show you how to make sure that they only get the types of communications that they're interested in. So for you to add a new contact, you would just click add, but I am going to edit an existing contact so we can see one that is filled with information. Now on each contact, the most important field is this contact position type. And so we made that required and we moved it to the top so you can't miss it. Basically, this is your opportunity to tell us basically the areas of interest or the roles and responsibilities of this particular individual. And so, as I mentioned, maybe we want to send a communication out to a marketing person, or maybe we have information that we want to send out to your cultural advisor. And so by you going in and indicating the roles or the areas of interest for each contact, we can make sure that our information is being sent out to the people that will find it most pertinent to them. Now, of course, when you go in and you add the contact, you're going to add their first name, last name, title. Of course, you're going to put in their email address. And individual contact email addresses are not displayed to the public by default. And so you don't need to worry about that email address leaking out. Later on, I am going to show you how, if you want an individual contact's email to be displayed, we can make that happen on different listings. But by default, you don't have to worry about that being displayed to anybody. And this other field, contact type, this is probably the second most important field on the account. if a contact is no longer with you, you cannot go in and delete that contact. And so the way that you would indicate to us that a contact is no longer with your company is by coming in here and setting their contact type to inactive. And so as soon as you set them to inactive and click save, that will basically remove them off of your account. It will remove their extranet access. It will remove them from any of our future email communication lists. And so basically it will remove them off of your account. And so when you're adding a brand new contact, you want to make sure to set their status to active. And for people who are leaving your company, you want to set their status to inactive. Now here in the address information, again, we are at a particular contact level. And so by default, it is pulling in the address information from the account level. But say you had a staff member, maybe who is located at a different property, or maybe they work from home. If you want their address to be different from the account level, you can click on edit. Again, the pencil is always edit. And you can see that it defaults to same as account. And so it's pulling in the account level information. If you make an edit at the account level, it's going to also update all of the contacts. But if you want to be able to type in a separate address, you can click on the custom address field, and then you can type in and you can make changes here and then apply those changes specifically for that contact. But if all of the address information is the same as the company, then you don't need to make any changes in that area. Also for the phone number, you can go ahead and put in the contact direct line. And again, these phone numbers will not be displayed publicly unless you want them to be. You can give us their gender and also their LinkedIn URL. Sometimes we click on the LinkedIn links just to see if the titles still match the titles that we have in the system, maybe that the company still matches. So many people changing often. So it does help us to kind of keep track of, make sure that the information is still up to date. And as with everything else, you would click save. I am going to go ahead and just click cancel instead. And as I mentioned, that contact position type field is required, but there are contacts that were in our system before that field was made required. And so those people, you might see that that field is blank. And so here under profile contacts in the contact grid, you will be able to see which ones are blank. You can actually sort by that field, and then you know that if you would like, you could go in and you can edit those to add a contact position type for those individuals. Okay, so that is all of your kind of company and staff contact information. Now we are going to get down here into collateral. And in collateral, we're going to talk about updating the text and the images that are on your listings. And so back to our test record, you'll see on the GoHawaii.com listing, there are basically two different text descriptions. There is this description that appears at the top, and this description also appears in category search results. This is what we would call the short description. This description is a 300-character limit. And then as consumers scrolling down onto through your listing, they are going to come to the long text description. And so this description, there is no character limit. You're welcome to enter in as much text as you want. And the reason that you want to make sure that you provide full, robust text descriptions is because the text that is in those areas is used when a consumer on Go Hawaii clicks on the magnifying glass and then does a search. And so, just like optimizing your website to appear higher in the search results on Google, by updating and optimizing your text descriptions on your listings, you can sort of optimize your ability to appear in searches right on the GoHawaii.com website as well. And so you want to make sure that your text descriptions include, full descriptions of all the services you have to offer. Kind of think how your customers would be looking for you, and make sure to incorporate those words and phrases in your descriptions, and then you'll be more likely to come up in those searches. And the way that you would edit those descriptions is, again, we clicked on collateral, and the text descriptions are here in listings. And so when you arrive in the listings area, you will see the various listings that accept the text description. And so you'll see, for those of you that are on our GoHawaii.com listing, you'll see the ability to edit that one. Again, for some of you, you will see a MeetHawaii.com listing as well, and all members will also see a membership directory. And so as we go through these, we like to point out that because the target markets for each of these is, consumers versus meeting planners versus business to business, perhaps Kama'aina, you don't necessarily want to take the same text that you entered in for one listing and then cut and paste it into the others. So you want to make sure that you're tailoring your different listings to pertain to the markets that are going to be seeing those listings. And so to edit those descriptions, for example, we're just going to start with GoHawaii.com. And as I mentioned for GoHawaii.com, there are two text descriptions. So the first one, this is the short description, and as you type, it will tell you if you are approaching the 300 character limit. And then as you scroll down, you will see the appropriately named detail page, long description, no character limit field to remind you that this is where you can enter in your full, robust, very descriptive text description. And so basically you would edit both of those, and then you can also select from images that you've already uploaded. We're going to show you how to upload images in the next section, but if you have previously uploaded images, as you are editing your listing, you can come in and choose which of those previously uploaded images you would like to use on that particular listing. So again, GoHawaii.com, most important thing, there's two descriptions. Short description field is at the top, long description field is at the bottom. For the other listings, for example, the membership directory, for those, you're only going to see the one text description, and so you're not going to have the short and the long. So for the membership directory, there is just a single long text description. So you can come in here, and again, because the membership directory, which we'll show you later, is only displayed to other business members, you want to kind of tailor the description that's in this field to more of a B2B or a Kama'aina type of focus. Now, also for some of the listings, in particular the membership directory and the MeetHawaii.com, you can actually have a contact person included in the listing information. Now, for the GoHawaii.com listing, we do not include an individual contact person's name, but for the membership directory and the MeetHawaii.com, we do include a person's name. And so the way you would do that is, again, you just come in to edit the listing, and you will see this contact field here. And so the contact field will show you all of the contacts that you have listed on your account. And so you can choose which contact will appear on that listing. But that selection will only include that person's name and title. It does not by default include their phone number or their direct email address. And so if you do want to include that individual contact's email, versus the account level email, which would be there by default, then you can do that by using these override fields. So again, we're in the listing, we click edit. I chose a contact person's name. That would only give me the name and title. And so if I want their email address or phone number, I can come down here, and by default, the system is probably going to look like this. And so this is showing you that you cannot type over it, and it's pulling in the account level contact information. But I chose Armita's name as the contact. If I want her address to be shown, then I click to activate the field, and then once I click save, this email will be used specifically only for this listing. And so again, by default, contact emails and phone numbers are not displayed, but if you want them to be shown for membership directory or MeetHawaii.com, you can do so by using these overrides here. And again, I'm just going to click cancel. And I'm just going to show you briefly how it is the same thing for those of you that have a MeetHawaii.com listing. Again, MeetHawaii.com listings are part of what we would call one of our convention levels of membership. And so if you have a listing, then that means you're at one of our convention levels. And so same for the meethawaii.com, there will be a long text description. You can choose your contact to be displayed. For the meethawaii.com, it also does show images. And so as we're uploading images in the next step, I'll show you how you can kind of tailor your images to the listings the same way that you're tailoring the text. But you can come in here and choose which images you would like to be displayed on that listing as long as they were previously uploaded. So again, we did all of that from collateral and then listings. That is basically where you will edit the text descriptions that appear on your listings. Next bit would be in collateral. We're going to come down here to media. And this is where you will update or add new imagery to your listings. Now, as you can see on our test record, images displayed on the website on gohawaii.com, they appear in this carousel, and you can see the images are fairly large. Basically, they need to be at least 950 by 700 pixels, and they also need to be in a landscape orientation, so wide rather than tall. If you do try to upload an image in a portrait orientation, it's basically going to cut the top and the bottom off. And if you try to upload an image that is very wide, you know, the panoramic image, it's basically going to cut the sides off. So 950 by 700 is basically a 4:3 ratio. It's not exactly, but it's close. So if you can get them pretty close to that aspect ratio, landscape, then the system will accept them. And the way you would do that is, again, we went to collateral media. And in collateral media, you can just click the Add New Media button. Now, most of you are only going to have one account, but in our test record, we have multiple accounts. Here, you will give the image a title. And that title is basically just going to be for your reference. That image does not appear on the website at all. And it will ask you to choose either image or logo. Basically, you're safe just choosing an image for everything you upload, even if it happens to be a logo. Once you do choose the image type, you'll be able to either drag an image to the page, or you can browse an image on your, let me see. I'm just going to try and upload a small one. If you upload an image that is not 950 by 700 pixels, then you'll see this red error message that will give you a warning that the image is too small. And so you can go ahead and remove that and browse for another. And I don't know offhand if I have a large example. Aha, big example. That's what I named it. Okay, so if you upload one that is large enough, it will give you the dimensions. In this case, it is exactly 950 by 700, and there will be no error message. Now, most important thing when you're uploading your imagery, and the field is required, so hopefully you won't miss it, again, is to indicate which of your listings you want this image to appear on. And so for a lot of companies, doesn't matter what their imagery is, they're going to want it all to appear on Go Hawaii. And for those of you that are on the meethawaii.com site, you may want all of those pictures also to appear on Meet Hawaii. But for some of you who have different services for consumers and/or the groups and meetings market, there may be cases where you have imagery that you only want to appear on either the Go Hawaii site or the meethawaii.com site. So a hotel might have a picture of their pool that they want to appear on Go Hawaii, and they may upload a picture of their meeting rooms or their ballrooms, and they might want that picture only to appear on meethawaii.com. And so for each image that you upload, you come here down to the bottom and you select off which of your listings you want that picture to appear on. And then you would click Save. Again, I'm just going to click Cancel here. And when you click Save, that will actually send us a notification that says that a member's listing has been updated. And then we will go in, we'll take a quick look at the pictures, we'll see if you've updated your text descriptions, make sure everything fits the guidelines, and then we will approve those. and then those will go live on the website. One other thing we wanted to mention in regards to the imagery is when a consumer pulls up your listing on GoHawaii.com, either in the category search results or when they first come to your website, your detail page listing, one of the images is going to be shown by default, and you can actually control which of your uploaded images is the default image for your listing. And the way you would do that is by updating this sort order field. So basically, you can see that every image is going to have a sort order. And so for now, I don't even know what image that is my, oh, I know what that is. So for now, I have a different type of image set up as my default, but say I wanted a statue to be my default listing image, I would come in to edit on that image, and I would just edit this sort order field over here. So by editing this field, I could just set this to sort order number 1. And you don't have to worry about if you had a sort order number 1 previously, by adding a new sort order number 1, you're not going to end up with 2. The system is actually smart enough to resort everything around it. So you can actually go in and you control the sort order of all the different images that will appear in your carousel. And all of that is under collateral media. Now we're going to go back here to special offers. And now that you have updated the information that appears on your consumer website listing, your meethawaii.com listing, if applicable, and also in your membership directory, now we want to make sure that you know how to take advantage of this brand new offer that just came out within the last few months. So where GoHawaii.com is the official consumer visitor website for the state, MeetHawaii.com is the official meeting planner website for the state, we also have agents.gohawaii.com, which is the official travel trade website for the state of Hawaii. Travel agents come to agents.gohawaii.com to order collateral, get information about Hawaii, and sign up for our Hawaii certification programs. And we have a variety of certification programs available. There's different levels. And after agents complete different levels of certification, they receive different types of benefits. And one of those benefits that they can receive is access to the EMILOA, it's what's called a self-guided FAM program. And so basically agents would come to agents.gohawaii.com, and they could come over here to education and then click on FAMs. And I am already logged into the website, so it's probably not going to ask me to log in again, but for a general agent, they would be asked to log in, and they're only going to see this particular page if they have completed 6 different certifications. So there's basically 2 statewide certifications, and then there are courses for Oahu, Maui, Island of Hawaii, and Kauai. And only after an agent completes all 6 of those do they get access to this EMILOA Explore Hawaii program. And so some of you may remember a program run by the Hawaii Tourism Authority for a few years called the Mahalo Month. And so suppliers would supply special rates and discounts that would be made available to travel agents just for the month of May each year. And so Hawaii Tourism Authority decided that it would be a better idea if these special offers and discounts were available to agents throughout the year. And so we developed the EMILOA program. And so an agent can come in, and this is basically for the agents themselves to use when they take a trip to Hawaii, so that they can experience, our accommodations, activities, different transportation options, and they can experience those things themselves, so that when they go back home, they can do a better job of selling Hawaii to their clients. So these are not offers that they would be passing on to their clients or to, to individual visitors. These are specifically for the agents who have completed those 6 levels of certification. And so an agent can come into the system and indicate what type of service they're interested in, what island they're going to be attending. And then they can see a list of offers submitted by members that they can take advantage of. And so you'll see we have some that are discounted. some are free activities. Whatever you're willing to offer to travel agents, once you submit your offer, it will appear here on the agent's site. And you can see for each offer, you can put in a text description as well as offer details. Wait, that wasn't what I wanted to click on. I wanted to click on that, sorry. For the special offer you're entering, you can choose an image. You're going to put in title, offer information. I'll show you how to do the dates, and then you can put in any restrictions or redemption information as well. So to do all that, again, we were in collateral, and you're going to click on special offers. And here in the offers area, you're just going to click on add offer. Again, most of you are just going to have the one account to choose from. So you're going to give your offer a title, and you're going to put in an offer link. That link may be just a link off to your general homepage, or it would be a good idea if you have a specific page on your site that has information devoted to travel trade partners. You can put a direct URL in there. Here's where you're going to put in the text, the description of your offer, and then also, again, the redemption instructions. So you can say, they must, prove that they're an agent, show their IATA number. You can codes that you would like the agent to use, things of that sort. You can put those all in there. And then you will choose an image to appear on your offer as well. Now, when you get down to the dates, there's going to be two sets of dates here. There are redeem from and to, and then also post from and to. And so the redemption dates are the dates that the offer is valid. And so, you might have an offer that's valid from January 1st to December 31st. But you might not want the offer to appear on the agents.gohawaii.com website all the way up until the last day that it's valid, because by the time somebody sees it, they won't be able to take advantage of it. So the post dates are going to control when the offer is actually displayed on agents.gohawaii.com. So you can control when the offer goes up, and then you can control when the offer comes down. And so you don't need to worry about keeping track of when your offer expires and then logging back in and making sure that the expired offer is removed. When you first submit your offer, go ahead and add in your post from and post to, and then when that offer is done, it will come down automatically. And for the offer categories, you're just going to come in here and choose travel trade special offer. And then for the offer listings, you want to choose gohawaii.com listing here. If you forget that, though it does try and give you a reminder here that you should choose gohawaii.com. If you forget, we will try to catch it during the approval process. But once you have all that information submitted, go ahead and click Save. Again, that will come to us for approval, and then after it goes through the queue, then it will be posted live on the agents.gohawaii.com website. So again, that is a relatively new offer. It's kind of a new target market that our members now have access to, putting information directly in front of travel trade folks. So we highly encourage you to take advantage of that if you are in one of those categories: accommodations, activities, transportation, things of that sort, to make sure that you go ahead and put those in. Okay, so next we are going to hop back to one of the items that we skipped over. So you've taken the time to freshen up your text descriptions, you've added new imagery, you may have tailored your text descriptions for consumers on Go Hawaii versus meeting planners on Meet Hawaii, and now you're kind of curious, what type of result those listings are getting for you. And so one of the things you can do is back here in Profile, and then clicking on My Benefits. Here is where you can get an idea of how your listings are performing. So basically, if you come into My Benefits and click on Listings, this will show you basically a chart of how many clicks and views your listings are receiving. And so in this area, you may see a membership directory entry in the grid, but the membership directory is not actively being tracked right now. But the views and clicks are being tracked for your GoHawaii.com listing, and also for those of you who are on the MeetHawaii.com. And so basically you can come in here, you can change the dates that you'd like to look through, and then it will give you basically a chart by month of views and clicks. And so let me take a second to just tell you what the difference is between those. Basically, again, this is what we call a member detail page, member listing page. If a consumer arrives at this listing page, that counts as a view. And then if a consumer clicks the website link to leave to go to the member's website, then that counts as a click. And I'm just going to briefly show you that that website link also shows up in other areas as well. So consumer comes to Go Hawaii. If they want to view by category, they can click the planning overview, and they can go down to what we call a member listings grid. And so say somebody was interested in activities. Close all the notices there. So say somebody's interested in activities, they'll see a list in a random order. And so, as I said earlier, the short text description not only appears at the top of your listing, but it also appears here in the search results as well. But you can see that the website link is also here in the category search results. So if a consumer got to this point, if they were to click on the company name, they would arrive at the detail page, and this would come as a view. But it's also possible for them to skip going to the detail page at all, and they can just click on website from here, and they can go off to our member websites. And so that would generate a click. And so for many of you, depending what type of company you are, and depending how enticing the default image you have is, and the short text that you provided, you know, it's possible for a consumer to decide right at that point that they already want to go off to your website without ever seeing your detail page. And so for some types of companies, you may see that the clicks number is actually higher than the views number. But for a lot of cases, you're going to see that consumers go to the member detail page to generate a view, and then they click on the website link to make a click. And so you can come in here and you can see all of that. Again, we did this in Profile and My Benefits. Now, next thing we're going to do is come back down here to the reports area. And there are a lot of informational items in here that hopefully you will find interesting. And when we go through this, I like to start at the bottom and work my way up because all the fun stuff is at the top. So again, we clicked on reports, and first thing here at the very bottom is the partnership opportunities document. Excuse me. Basically, this document is updated generally twice per year, usually a little before the Hawaii Tourism Authority spring marketing update, and then also before the fall tourism. I forget what it's called this year, but it used to be the fall tourism update. And so basically, the partnership opportunities document is a fairly comprehensive list of different opportunities that we will have available throughout the year for members to participate in. It might be trade shows that we're attending, could be magazines that we're having print ads in, could be social media influencers coming into town where we need itinerary items, or travel trade FAMs. Could just be general opportunities like advertising in our printed planners, in our electronic newsletters, or in our official guide maps, things of that sort. And so in the opportunities document, it is going to show you whether it is a corporate opportunity or tied to any individual island chapter, kind of a description of what the opportunity is, and then who to reach out to if you would like to participate. And so this document is always available in the reports area of Extranet for you to take a look at, maybe pass out to your marketing folks, things of that sort. And just a quick note, the version that is in here now was posted just before our HVCB annual meeting back in January. And from what I've been told, the newest version with 2020 opportunities is going to be posted within the next week or two. So keep an eye out for an email notification of that, or just check back into the reports area. We'll have the newest version posted as soon as it's available. So that was, again, just in reports at the very bottom, partnership opportunities document. Now, also in the reports area, we put an archive of the most recent market insights newsletters. And so the newest version of the newsletter will be on the homepage in the partner bulletins area. But then we put previous months here in the reports area. And so you can come in here and you can click on any of these that you may have missed. They are saved as PDFs. And so you can come in and view the report for that month. Now, these reports are compiled by our market research team. They're fairly comprehensive information with a lot of good pieces of data to help with your planning. So they're definitely a good idea to keep track of and make sure that you take advantage of those each month. And similarly, I'm going to come right back to leads. We also post recent versions of our Kahe Wale membership, monthly membership newsletter there as well. So that email started up again just a few months ago. And so if by chance you happen to miss the email that is sent out to you, generally in the first week of the month or so, we post previous versions here so you can come in. And again, we basically convert that, that email into a PDF, so that you can make sure that you don't miss out on any of that information that we provided there. Now, also here in the reports area, this section here, leads, this is going to be available to members, again, who are at one of our convention levels of membership. And so if you, basically, if you have a listing in the meethawaii.com website, then you may also have access to these convention calendar leads. And so this particular section where you will view the convention calendar, it is set up on an individual contact by contact basis. And so if you do log in and if you are a member at the convention level and you don't see the convention calendar, then there's a checkbox we can check on your contact record, and then you'll be able to see that. So go ahead and contact us if you expect to see the convention calendar and if it's not in there. Now, once you arrive in the convention calendar, basically this is a listing of meetings, conventions, incentives booked across the state with the assistance of our Meet Hawaii sales team. And so, our Meet Hawaii sales team, we have directors of sales based here in Hawaii and also throughout the mainland. They are constantly trying to sell Hawaii as a meetings destination. And so, they'll basically pass on leads from meeting planners to local properties. And if that piece of business is turned into a confirmed booking, because it was booked with our assistance, it will be added to our online convention calendar. And so you can search different dates. You can search events that are coming up on different islands. And basically, generally, it will give you meeting planners' contact information. So it will tell you what type of event it is, whether it's a meeting, a convention, or an incentive, if it is at the convention center or not, or if not, where the hotel headquarter property is, how many people are coming, and it will give you the meeting planner's contact information to allow you to reach out to the planners to see if they would like to partake of your services while they're here. Some of them you will see may be listed as, I'm trying to find one, confidential. There you go. So some you might see might be listed as a confidential meeting. And those are cases where the meeting planner has asked us not to divulge their contact information. But in some cases, that still might be of use to you. Just as a random example, the one I happen to click on is going to be 12,000 people. And so once the information is updated and you know where the hotel is, just knowing that there's a large group coming might help with staffing or things of that sort. So even if they are confidential, you may still be able to get some good information on that. And so all of that is in the convention calendar. Again, this is available to members at one of our convention levels of membership. And if you do not see it and you would like to see it, then go ahead and get in touch with us, and we'll see what we can do to make that happen. And then finally, still in the reports area, and the first item at the top is our member directory. And so you saw earlier how to go into your member directory listing and how to control whether or not you display a contact on your membership directory listing. And we showed you how to edit the text that appears in your listing. And so this is where that information would be displayed. And so you can come into the directory, and basically the purpose of the directory is twofold. Whether you want to make sure that the information for your company is up to date and available for other HVCB members to reach out to you, or if you want to use the directory to search by category and reach out to other business members. You might have a partnership opportunity idea. You might want to just share information about upcoming events, things of that sort. So basically, you can come in. You can click which island you would like to search on, and choose from different categories of members, and then you will see the information that is on file for those companies. And so you can see Elite Kula Lavender is an example where there is no person's name there, but you can see Kahe Garden is an example where they did indicate that they wanted to have a contact on that particular listing. And so that's the difference of whether or not you choose a contact when you go into collateral listings to update that information. And so you can go through there. You can print the report into a PDF, and then there is also an option for you to export the report as well. So member directory is a very useful tool. Definitely a way to help you get information out to the other business members. Before we go, I wanted to show you one other thing. So on our test record on GoHawaii.com, you may have noticed as I was scrolling through showing you the different items that appear on your listing, you may have seen this Book Now button. And so basically, all members who receive a listing on GoHawaii.com have a link that goes off to your website. But a lot of you, most of you probably have separate pages or have ways that consumers can make a purchase or a booking or a reservation directly off your website. And so we also offer an added value service where you can add a Book Now button onto your listing page. And as you saw when I was clicking here, also when consumers are viewing members in the listings grid and they're clicking by category, you can see that there are some members that have subscribed to the Book Now button program and some that have not. And so everybody has a link to their website. That's just a standard part of your membership. But if you would like to add a button that goes directly to your booking page, just to be clear, HVCB, Go Hawaii, we don't do any bookings ourselves. Basically, you give us the link, whether it be to your Fair Harbor page, or maybe you have an in-house reservations website. You give us the link, and your website link goes to your homepage, and then your Book Now button would go to your bookings page. And you can add the Book Now button to your listing for $150 per year. Similarly, there is another service on your listing. So again, all members can upload images. There's no limit to the number of images they can have, and the images appear in the carousel. But we know that a lot of you have very visually appealing services that you want to maybe be able to showcase to consumers more than just having a still image. And so for those, we also have the option of including a YouTube video on your member listing. And so basically, you would host the video yourself on your own YouTube account, and you would give us the URL of the YouTube video. And then that video basically replaces the first image in the carousel. And so you could see when someone first arrives at the listing page, as they're scrolling down, they'll come down and they'll see the video as the first item there. And so again, if you would like to add a YouTube video to your GoHawaii.com listing, that is also $150 per year. And we have a quick sign-up form that we can send you if you would like to participate, where you can provide us with the URLs either of your booking page or of your YouTube video. And so just reach out to either myself or James after the meeting, and we'll be able to get you that registration. Then I just wanted to say again, mahalo for attending. You know, we know you folks are very busy, and so we appreciate the fact that you're willing to take some time out to learn how to use Extranet to make sure that you're getting the most value out of your membership. And other than that, again, mahalo. We hope to see you at one of our events. Thank you very much.